All right. Hey, how's it going, everybody? All right. Time for a Fundrise update review. Um, yeah. I was supposed to be, I guess, making a daily update and/or monthly update, but um, that most likely won't happen. Not with this account, man. Because tell you the truth, man, there's nothing that interesting about even a monthly update to Fundrise. Although I do like watching other channels and their progress, um, I just don't really have the motivation and/or you know reasoning for doing it. But I will say I can give you a quarterly update because quarterly updates are more reasonable. So that's what you can expect out of this channel as a whole, and you know, Fundrise. So if you haven't watched my first video, if you want, you can go back to the first one, get caught up with what it is I plan on doing with this account. But if this is your first one, welcome. Um, yeah. So as you guys can see, starting from the top, let me get my notes real quick. All right, here we go. Yeah. So I like Fundrise. Um, it's another platform that I invest in. It's another platform that I will use to get me to my goals. Maybe sometime in the foreseeable future, this could be another pot that I pull from. Maybe once a year. So up at the top, I'm currently at 93,521. Um, I've almost earned 10 grand, so that's pretty cool. I've been with these guys since late November. I'm currently at the advanced level, and my investment plan is the Balance Investing Plus. If you look down here at the bottom, I'm almost to the premium plan. All right, so to get to the premium plan, you need like principal, not like your dividends or this appreciation. You need like principal to the account. So I got about 8 grand more. Um, as far as like adding money to this account, if you guys watched my other videos on Wealthfront, I'm actually trying to increase the amount of money I'm putting in my Wealthfront account for the time being. I want that account to catch up to this one. So once I get it caught up, I'll start dispersing the amounts evenly between the two, and then just let them ride from there. Um, as far as projects, dude, I got like over 200 now, which is crazy. Fundrise has been doing a pretty good job at like keeping me updated, meaning I've been getting a lot of notifications from these guys. Just like down here, most recent activity, some of the portfolios, man, like that they're acquiring. Every once in a while, it's always cool to go in and read about it and see what's happening with it. Um, I truly see Fundrise becoming the future, man. Not only is it a young company, but they're like the first to do what they're doing, man. And who knows, man? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Um, but let's get to the money real quick. So dividends, we're gonna scroll down here to the bottom. And I did this on my last video, but I think it's kind of pretty cool that you see like how far I've come with dividends. Right about now, man, I think it's safe to say that I broke that $1,000 threshold, even though I kind of decreased a little bit on this last one. No big deal. I broke the $1,000. So if I were to say a next milestone would be one to get to 100,000, two to get to like 2 grand in quarterly dividends. But these dividends, they go straight back into the account, man. I don't touch them. Don't plan on touching them for another 15 years or so, man. So, um, what else? Let's see. Future of real estate. That's a subject I kind of wanted to touch on real quick before we move over to performance. And I think, what I like to say is if you can't beat them, invest in them. And that's kind of what I feel like I'm doing with Fundrise. And, I mainly like Fundrise, man, because it's not tied in with everybody else's emotions. And this is what I kind of feel is a true form of being diversified because it's not tied in with like the market. It's not some realty. Oh, it's I don't have to worry about somebody getting emotional because of what news article they read or what the president said. You know, if you try and pull out from here, they're gonna slash you. Um, so this way you don't screw over everybody else. So I mean, this is a long man's game, and if you're not in it for the long run, I mean, why are you even investing to begin with? So, but with the amount of properties and the amount of money these guys are getting and just throwing around for some of these projects, there's no way I can catch up to that, man. But the next best thing I can do is invest in it. And it's always cool to still be up to date on how they do things because they're just doing what that individual guy is, but on a much larger scale. You know, and I'm starting to see like a trend: fast-growing neighborhood, cash flowing with upside potential, in a strong, stable local economy. So these guys got some plans they got going on here. So I mean, I'm not gonna knock them for it. And although I don't see a lot of the benefits now, um, I think more towards the future you're gonna start seeing it. Like I said, I'm still early in this game, man. All right, I've only been with these guys for like 2 years, dude. If you're expecting to see any type of huge growth in 2 years, you're sadly mistaken. All right, maybe when you're with this company or a company for like 10 years, okay, you could probably start seeing some like crazy growth. I touched on dividends. I didn't give you like second quarter's dividends because when I made my last video, I literally got the dividends like the next day. So that was it. And this one snuck up on me. I didn't see that one coming. All right, let's try performance. All right, so like I said, man, you know, I guess did like 1.1, and then fourth quarter is already starting. So I don't get too bent out of shape on these. Fundrise also follows some of the principles that I like. They minimize fees. They work on minimizing taxes, and they diversify my portfolio. That's the only three things that I can control, and that's the only three things I'm gonna, focus on. Well, not even focus on. I'll glance at it, but the only thing I'm focusing on is increasing my income. Why do we increase our income? So we can increase our savings rate. All right, $93,000 is a lot for I don't know pocket change, but in the investment world, it's chump change. You know, you can say what you want, but if you think about it this way, if you had $1 million, 4% of that is what, like 40,000 or something before taxes. So I don't know about you, man, but I'm not trying to live off 40 grand. You know, I'm I'm not trying to live a 40 grand life. So, um, I'm going to the top, man. One thing I will get into is Fundrise lately, man, they have been adding a crap ton of new projects. I don't remember this one. I don't remember this one, and I don't remember this one. Although most of them are like zero. I mean, they're ramping up, like all these, ramping up. So, I don't expect these to like stabilize and or even start operating for another 5 or so years. So, you know, you won't see me get bent out of shape because it says zero. Like I said, man, it's ramping up. All right, they got to get the funds, they got to get the operations going. Whatever they got to do, I'm leaving it up to them to handle the biz. I'm going to focus on increasing my income. Uh, but I will say, I don't know where these guys are getting these names from. I guess they try to keep it the same and just start adding whatever. um, down here you got more charts. Um, this steady climb right here, man, is a mixture of dividends, appreciation, and I guess you could say dollar cost averaging. I would say the main reason for that incline is my savings rate. Right, I add about twice a month to this account, and if you ain't doing that, you probably shouldn't expect your portfolio to rise as much, or at least this type of rise. You'll probably do something more around this line, which this is a lot. But man, this line right here, man, is tempting. It almost makes me just want to throw the rest of my cash in there, but stick to the plan, and that should be good. Let's see what else we can touch on here. Like I said, man, like this stuff's kind of boring ish. There's not too much to talk about, which is why you'll probably only see quarterly updates. Um, a quick glance on the principal invested and what the total position is now. Um, if you're that guy that's worried so much about percentages and how you can do much better, go for it, bro. But you know, I'm in it for the long run. I understand I won't really see any type of huge gains until later on. Plus, I'm in no rush. These guys are doing pretty good as it is. So, but I will say these projects, man, they're acquiring so many freaking projects, bro. Like, they're not even like letting me know when they get in. That's how fast these guys are gaining them. Like, they're just throwing them in there. And you're like, whoa. So it's kind of cool, man. All right. So let's see. Updates, documents, features. No, I think you guys saw that from the last video. I don't think anything changed in this. I don't really like how this is set up. Invite your friends. Hey, let me talk to you guys a little bit about that. Um, the invite link or affiliation links. All right. And if you saw my Wealthfront video, I talked about it on that one too. But just in case you don't see that one, I'm gonna hit it on this one too. Because my Fundrise videos seem to get more views than the other one. It is okay to use an affiliation link. All right. A lot of bigger YouTubers try to bash you, make you feel like you're being biased just because you decide that you want to use an affiliation link. Back in the day, maybe the only person that got the benefit from that was the company. But nowadays, in 2020 or 2019, everybody benefits, man. All right. Hey, have your fees waived for 180 days. All right. The person you advise gets his fees waived for like 90 days. And guess what? Fundrise gets your services. It's a win-win for everybody. All right. Last time I checked, I didn't think that was a bad thing. Plus, I'm actually using this. All right. So why wouldn't I recommend it to you? I don't know what it is about YouTubers when they get a couple thousand subscribers or 100,000 subscribers, maybe a million subscribers, all of a sudden they're too good to use advisory fees. I don't know. Maybe it's because they make enough off of you watching their videos, they don't need to pitch it anymore. Point is, dude, if you use the company and you believe in the company, use it, man. I can't force you to use it. All right? Like if you don't want to use it, that's fine. So, don't be ashamed to use it. The next thing I want to touch on before we bounce. um, it's okay to use a company like Fundrise to invest in real estate. And I also touched on this on my last video too. A lot of us tend to be perfectly fine with using a professional to fix every other problem in our lives. But when it comes to something like investing, everybody thinks they're like a freaking professional when it comes to it. All right, when half of us don't do anything involving real estate or the stock market in our primary jobs. Okay, so if you're that brand new guy that happens to see my video, I'm letting you know now, man, it's perfectly fine to let a professional manage your portfolio. All right? I would rather me focus on my primary source of income than to do this side hobby distracting myself. All right? Because I actually increased my income this month. All right? I got promoted. And while I'm on this, I should probably just let you guys know what I actually do. Um, so I work for the U.S. Army. I've been doing so for almost 9 years now, and I plan on doing 20 years. You know, pending if I make it that far, I'm that KIA or I don't get kicked out of the Army for some reason. All right. So, and I got promoted. Or I made the list. I should say I didn't get promoted yet. I made the list. So, I'm able to increase the amount of money that I'm saving to my accounts now. So, and I'm able to do that because I'm able to focus on my job. I'm able to master my job. And I can't do that if I'm messing around in the stock market, if I'm messing around with this other stuff. It's okay to get a professional to manage your stuff. Like I said, the only thing you have to watch out for is how much the fees are. You know, um, can they minimize taxes? And can they diversify your portfolio? That's the least you can do. The rest is on them, man. And most of these companies nowadays are lowering their fees to a ridiculous amount. Like most of them are going to zero. All right. I never trust a company that goes to complete zero. Like I don't trust that, man. Like yeah, I don't trust that. So I'm not saying it needs to be super high, but when a company says it's free, eh, nothing's free in life. But anyway, that's about all I got for this update. Um, I think the last time you saw this, it was like 88,000. So, but if you have any questions about Fundrise, uh, they answer everything and then some. All right. For me to sit here and tell you how this company is supposed to be ran is doing a disservice to you because I'm not the subject matter expert in this company. All right, you should probably ask the people that work at the company about it. And as you can see, they had all types of questions that they answer in here, man. And if for some reason none of this satisfies you, contact them yourself. All right, right down here at the bottom. All right, if you don't want to do reading, just contact them here at the bottom. They're pretty quick to answer, man. Every time I ask a question of them, they get back to me, man, within like 24 hours. You know, and they answer my questions, and they follow up, and they do like follow up questions. So, you know, like they're pretty good, man. Pretty good, bro, and like they only get better. So that's how I see them. They can only get better from here. Because this is crazy how they break it down like this. You know, they go in here and taxes and stuff, dude. That's crazy. So it looks like I got a lot of reading to do actually, because this is actually new. I don't remember it being set up like this. So, but that's all I got. Um, if you have any questions about me personally, I can answer them. But like I said, if you have it about the company, it's best that you know, log into Fundrise and research yourself. So that's all I got. Millennials lead the way.